Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Alliance Performance Shop, Lone Star Mopars.com. It's Labor Day. I'm trying to get some stuff cranked out here, and we just had another train wreck tool haul that I realized I left an item out of, so that's fantastic and didn't accomplish the goal of getting all that cleaned out. But I'm not too concerned about that item. Maybe we'll do standalone on it, and that's kind of what I'm thinking we will do here. There's going to be multiple items, but one of them is the highlight of the show. And that item is from Quinn. It's their part number 57721, and it's not this. It is not just that flathead driver. Long ago we bought this. It was a two-piece set, which I still wish they did with Icon, so you didn't have to invest so much money into just getting to try and demo, their drivers. But when I got this, namely for the number 2, so we'd have it for testing, I thought, you know what, this would be like a really good handle for a pry bar. And be danged, they don't do that. So that's what we have here. This was on sale. I think it was $9.99 or sub $9.99. Don't quite recall. I'll have it linked for you. It's going to just be the current price when you see it. Obviously we have not used these, so we don't know what to expect. That said, the lower tier Pittsburgh set that you can get, like a 4-piece pry bar set for $9.99 on sale, those have actually not been bad, and I've had years of experience with them. It's one of those things. It's kind of like the 1/2-inch breaker bar, it's like 25-inch, and you think, oh, there's no way that thing could be that cheap and good. Some things will surprise you, and this is one of those things. So what they're going to advertise is heat-treated chrome vanadium, black oxide, and the oversized comfort grip, which again, whether you go there, this gives you a chance to actually feel this handle. Again, this is kind of an ideal, especially for these sizes, a really good handle for a pry bar, in my opinion. So, flipping it around, they claim, again, durable heat-treated chrome vanadium extends through the handle, so there's no striking cap, sadly. Obviously, that would probably ratchet the price up, but they claim it extends through the handle. Obviously, there's a hanging hole, so I'm going to say stopping somewhere, probably here, but preferably in this region. I guess we could get a magnet, and we'll see if we can. So here, obviously, there's nothing. We'll have to cut the plastic and investigate further. The black oxide, once again, will prevent rust and corrosion, extending the life of the tool. Oversized comfort grip and beveled edge for maximum leverage when prying or lifting. So these are kind of going to be a pain in the butt to cut open, so I may do that off camera for your convenience. I also snagged these. They are Thundervolt alkaline 9-volt batteries. Why? Because smoke alarms. Weird things. 9-volt batteries always frustrate me, because it's like, can we not just run some combination of AA or AAA? And the answer is apparently no, because people want to continue to have 9-volt batteries. So you never have them, you always run out of them. When you have them and you need them, they're like dead, or they're worse than the one that you had. It's train wreck. These were on sale as well. They did not have, yeah, these are Magnum. They didn't have the ones I typically get, which is like the blue cased ones. I've had really good luck with those, at least in terms of like matching what you'd expect from top tier brands. So yeah, we took a flyer on them. We'll see what we think, and I've got them. I used my last one. Anytime I use the last one, I know it's just a ticking time bomb. You got like a day or two, or that night, something else is going to go off, and you're not going to be able to sleep. So those are there in the waiting now. Coming up next, I snagged another one of these because they were on sale again. I'm not a flashlight guy. This to me is pretty good, especially for the price. And when I look at things that look similar to this, and the price is like 20 times, what this would cost, I have a hard time justifying it. I have now a very long track record with this style of light, and I have zero complaints. My advice, if you're in the store and they have like a peg full of these things, go back, maybe take the first couple off and grab one of those. Why? Probably hasn't been played with as much, left on, who knows what happens. We've covered these in detail before. They're going to claim 85 lumens for 3 hours. It's got a 190 foot range. Again, I'm not super concerned with that. I'm like treating this as like tactical survival type of a flashlight. This is, hey, I dropped something, I can't find it, I need a light. And that's literally all it is to me. So I have used these, you know, of course, like automotive and at work and stuff. They've been fine. They're better than nothing. You don't have to. I always tend to leave my flashlight on my cell phone when I use it at work, which you don't know until someone tells there's something shining out of your back pocket, or you like pull your phone out, you know, 2 hours later and you're like, oh crud, you know, I left the flashlight on. So something like this is nice. It has the pocket clip. It's really not much else I can tell you. Again, I have solicited feedback. If you are a flashlight person, keep in mind something like this. If you want me to spend close to like $60 or $100 on a flashlight, it better do a lot and like come with a free meal or something. I'm just not that person. So if there's one that's like reasonably priced, that's like infinitely better than this and has multiple modes and is going to be more durable and last longer and, you know, survive multiple drops from triple the distance or what have you, leave a comment. It'll help myself. It'll maybe help someone else out. But like I said, I'm just not like the flashlight guru. It's not my thing. It hasn't been my thing. I had a Maglite that I thought was awesome when I was a little kid. You know, it's like long ago now, but like the ones that take like what, C or D batteries, you know, and like you can basically use it as a baton and crack someone's skull. And the focus beam, and like, you know, if you knew like where the lights were at the park, you know, the little sensor, you could like go jack with that. Yeah, long story, but you know, that to me was cool. And then these aren't bad, and I'll leave it at that. So like I said, if you've got suggestions that are reasonably priced, tell me. But I cannot ever envision myself buying something of this size for $100. It's just, I cannot fathom that. I'm not at a point in life where I can do that. If I was, I don't think I would. But for me, this little like $5 flashlight, it's pretty dadgum good. So I'm sure some of you are in the same boat. Some of you are like just vomiting on your keyboard right now as you hear someone say that. So Streamlight, O-Light, Coast Light, Floodlight, Searchlight, whatever, you know, just leave a comment and say what it is, part numbers, preferably colors at that price. If I'm paying $50 or more, I want to be able to get my color for the same price as a default, you know. So but like I said, your feedback is welcome, but for me, this is a pretty nice little flashlight. Coming in next, these were on sale, and I don't know why I'd never bought these before, but it's just an O-ring assortment from Storehouse. Now, there is a caveat here. It says 382 piece, and you're like, oh, it probably comes with sizes you'll never need. Well, it probably does. But note right here by the thumb, SAE. There is an SAE and there is a metric. All right, so if you're working on, you know, brand new 5.0 Mustangs, you probably don't want this, okay? If you're back there and you're building 454s and crud for your Nova or Chevelle, you probably want this one, unless you've LS swapped, right? So keep that in mind. But it was a fantastic price. It was on sale as well. I'm kind of curious to see how this is set up in terms of like the peg storage. I have a sneaking suspicion, and some of you are probably typing in the keyboard, don't do it. I kind of think if I open this, it's going to be a collateral, just falling away type of a thing. But I've legit never had this before, and I'm kind of too tempted to see what happens when we open this lid. So if you know what's going to happen, it's too late. You're watching this well after a disaster has struck. So here we go. Hey, that's impressive. Okay, I don't know anything about the quality of these. They could be junk. Typically, the Storehouse consumables aren't bad. But yeah, right here, I guess you just kind of fish your O-ring off, right? So that is impressive. There's nothing spilled. Nothing is where it should not be. That's good. These seem supple. That's what you want in a fresh O-ring. Yeah. Again, you know, time will tell. By all means, if you're like, no, don't ever use those, they're going to fail, you're going to hate it, you're going to waste your time, you'll have to take it all back apart to put a better O-ring in. Leave a comment, tell me, tell the world. Similarly, if you're like, you know what, I've had expensive ones and I've had that junk right there, and that junk right there is actually pretty good. The cool thing is the index up here is going to tell us the ID and the size and the quantity and everything. This is a well thought out kit in terms of like the storage apparatus. It seems to function. Now, what happens if I use 2 of these? Who knows, maybe the whole thing goes to shambles and we're going to dump them all out every time. I don't know. I would be leery when you open it. I would keep it parallel to your work surface, but initial impression, again, especially for the price, I'll take it. I'm good with that. So maybe we'll go back and get the metric one when it's on sale. But again, let me know your thoughts if you've got experience with that thing. Can I just rip this? Yeah, we're gonna rip it. Got the big one out, and there we go. We just manhandled it. Save you time. So, I think, for those of you that hate the sound of plastic crinkling, I think that was far less egregious than if I would have taken the CutiX to it. So that's a win for you. The lengths on these suckers, shouldn't have thrown that down because I've forgotten. I think it was 8, and of course we tore the plastic paper, so 18. 8-inch and 18. Obviously, you can look at the shank here. You're going to say, that is no way 8 inches. It's not even 4, it's about 3.5. It's going to be a metric measurement, I'm sure. And then coupled with the handle, although, you're going to see, your other 4.5 inches. So overall length is right, clocking in perfectly at the 8-inch mark. So the 18-incher, you can kind of do the math. If like that's going to be 4.5-inch handle, well, what's 18 minus 4? 14. 14 minus half, 13.5. What do we have here? Oh, we're looking at about 13 1/8 or something. So that tells us the handle is not going to be that, and that would be correct because it's just shy of the 5-inch mark. That's rough. Get them done measurements for you. Obviously, you can see the difference here, and you can tell we've got the contrast and the lengths. Note here, there is a hanging hole. That's a big deal for some of you. It's a downside for others. Obviously, that means if you hammer on this, you're more likely to mushroom this, at least over time. I do want to grab this guy right here. You can see the PB Swiss going on. It's definitely here. Now the handle is getting fatter. I don't know that the handle made it very far up. I'm gonna say like we would be lucky if it got here, but it's definitely in this region. But I can't say that's good. But again, this was $9, so we'll see. Again, you can never really have too many pry bars, including of different hex sizes, shanks, ends, things you can beat on, things you can grind on to get under something. I think they're going to turn out to be okay, and that's all we can really expect for $10. Pretty solid. Again, you're mainly going to be, with this, if you get under something, you're going to go down to get it up. Similarly, you could come in and just, forcibly break whatever it is by going the other direction. But yeah, just decent little pry bar set, I hope. Again, time will tell. If you've got experience with them, by all means, tell me. Save people money or say, hey, those are actually good. So, again, the main highlight on these, this is just a great handle to have on something. I wouldn't necessarily think you should have this on, say, a 5-foot, breaker bar, pry bar type of a setup. But for a little 8-inch deal like this, and probably up to 18-ish, I think this would be solid. Now, I'd love to see, personally, like a 12 in the mix of this. Even like if they want to be weird and do a 10 or a 14 or something. But, something mid-range between these, I think you could still capitalize on this handle. How long it'll hold up, I don't know, but I'm excited to see, and it's one more thing to add to the mix. I think I'm going to take these to work, is actually the plan there, so we'll see how those do. That's a very, very harsh environment for something that's not cut out for things, but we'll see how it does. So, yeah, just, I have one more item. And I got a really good deal on it. kind of, you know, this is a short video. Let's do it. Let's get it out of the way. All right. I've wanted this for a long time for reasons I can't disclose to you, because that video should have been filmed long ago and it hasn't. You can probably figure it out, but I'm not going to tell you. But, this is from Icon. It is their part number, LWR2100. 2100 might tip some of you off. If you're thinking, hey, don't they have a... Oh, yeah, they do. It's a 2100 Lumen rechargeable floodlight. If you're like, hey, that looks a lot like the Braun. Well, it does. The Brauns, I still, to this day, have fantastic battery life out of those things. Like, ridiculous. I typically have them on low. That's more than enough light most of the time for me. But I get really good battery life over a decent period of time now. Typically, lights start out great, and then the battery sucks. Like, literally, it just drains down, and you're always charging it, and you have to buy another one just so you can have uptime, right? The thing with these, I don't know, the last I really researched them, which was months ago, I hadn't had really many complaints on that, but it was over time as these were used, and I'm talking like I'm under the hood or under a car or under a trailer or whatever, 6 hours out of my day, people were melting them. So that is concerning. You know, I don't know that would have been rectified if that's like a common thing. Maybe it comes with extreme use or something. But nonetheless, you wouldn't want to contend with that. It looks like that's on a Corvette too. Ugh. But anyway, it's basically a beefed up, bigger version of the Brauns that I'm happy with. I don't even remember, are those like 750 lumen? It's almost even the same setup back here. It's obviously a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. I don't think the Brauns have the red power button, but you're going to have 280 on low, which, yeah, 12 hours of runtime, they claim. That's really good. Medium, you jump, this is almost a deal where I wish there was like a mode or two in between here. Like if you could go from, like, say, if we're going to 2100, if we could subdivide it reasonably, like 1500, 1000, 500, you know, like 250, something like that, that would be great. But it obviously, you ratchet the lumens up almost fivefold, and you clock in and you cut your runtime down in half almost. And then right here, going all the way up to 2100 lumens, you're looking at max charge. They're claiming 2.5 hours. Are the numbers accurate? Who knows? You could probably bank on an hour and a half to 2. Maybe you get lucky and it's 2.5 to 3. But the 280 is a little low. I do wish there was like something in that 500 to 800 range maybe. But, you know, we'll give it a go, see what we think of it. It's essentially the same setup, just larger. So they're going to say compatible with underhood floodlight system. I wonder if that's why someone like myself would have bought this. I don't know. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. Ooh, future will tell. So, I wish it didn't say that, but it did, so that probably tells you what you need to know there. And I might have that video up before. If that thing is here, it has been leaning against a drill press stand on the backside for close to a year, maybe? So, yeah, and it is what it is. But they're going to claim water, dust, and impact resistance for everyday wear and tear. 360-degree rotating head for multiple lighting directions. It is also a very nice upgrade here if you hate those tiny, tiny things. What do you output from this thing? So it looks like it'll charge, and then it's got like a USB. Oh, okay. Well, I should have kept reading. So obviously the USB-C, the thin one at the top, is how you charge it. But then right there, this is a power bank. So that's actually pretty cool. Meaning, like, let's say that you're out here like I've been the last 2 nights at 1 a.m. and you realize your phone is at like 2%. You could conceivably throw it connected into this guy and you could charge your phone. So that's cool. Granted, my phone, I can't do that because it'll only charge wirelessly, but it is what it is. Still rocking an ancient cell phone. Looks like the same design here. They're going to claim strong magnetic base. Looks like you do get a charging cable. Does anyone else think we should get icon stickers at this point in time, you know? Like, why don't we have that yet? We don't have colors, obviously, from Icon. Like, you know, if I want to go all out and get their ratchets and they want to claim their professional grade, well, where's my color differentials, right? They're not there. That sucks. So, for those of you that want to be blinded, we're going to have 200. We're going to hit it again, and we're going to have 1,000. And we're going to hit it again, and we're going to have 2,100. I'm not going to go to extremes of turning the lights out like we've done in the past, but here's 200. I'll kind of fan it side to side and then come down into the middle. We've got 1,000. I'm sorry. We now have 1,000. Fan side to side. Come down to the middle. We'll turn off, and then we'll 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 2,100. I'm sorry. 1, 2. There we go. That is excessively bright. Like, I'm way, okay, yeah, that's a lot of light right there. So what I'll do is get this thing out of here. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more cumbersome, and then we'll kind of recap it and wrap this video up. Right, before we jump into that, I had something crazy happen. I'm cutting that open, and this went flying, and I'm like, whoa, what is that? Like, you know, I had some like retail CutiX packaging around, and I thought, how did that get stuck to something and fly off? And then I realized it came off of my CutiX. This is the OG. This is like the most used CutiX in the world, probably, evidenced by that. But yeah, this thing just snapped off of here. I don't know if it's gonna go back or not either. So I may have to play with that here later. Take a look at some built ones and see. Ooh, I don't want to cut myself there. Okay, crisis averted. So yeah, have you ever had that fly off of your CutiX? Let me know. You can see it was a little rib line there. Obviously this one's like almost out of blades anyway, but yeah, this is the OG right here. It has been through a lot. I've got another one that's torn up about this bad, but I did not want that to be totaled out. So it's like a badge of honor. Anyway, this is what she looks like out of the package, and I gotta say, it's an attractive light. Obviously, again, my complaint and my suggestion would be, this is black. That's the only color it comes in. It's like Icon, you want a ratchet? Have red. You want screwdrivers? Have red. There's no color option, no like, and realistically, when you look at an Icon ratchet, it's like the same grip as a Quinn, that's the same grip as a Pittsburgh, you know, so like there's that. But like I would love to see Icon have the more color options than say the Braun, right? So this is what I'm used to, and I love these lights. I absolutely love them. I've had, now granted, I probably by having as many, you know, the life cycle might not have been skewed to that point. But what I had before I had the bronze is the Astro. Fantastic black and blue color scheme. What happens with the Astro and my more used bronze, that's one of the newest. Again, I don't know how many of those things I have, but like you have this little protector here that's covering the magnets. That thing will sometimes just like shift when it gets hot, when it gets cold, like the adhesive slides. I'm sure that's something that's going to happen here as well. But it's something you got to note. Now, what happened to this Astro, you'll note it's a black power button. It has no power bank. It's just obviously the you know, charging of the light. What happens to it is you get in a situation where this thing just drains. Like at start it was great, and then it just gets to a point where even on the low setting it's like bloop bloop bloop, you get down to 1 and then it's just flashing on you. The bronze, I'm sure, will do that. I'm sure this will do that. But initially, those bronze being, you know, like less of a price, that's kind of the route I've gone. I like the more vibrant blue, and then I've got the greens. I can kind of tell what's on what charge cycle. This guy right here, you upgrade to the red power button. Good Lord. That is a lot of light. Again, like I say, if I seem easily amazed and amused, I am not the flashlight guy, all right? That to me is a good flashlight. I'm not saying it's great, but it's good, especially for the price, and these have been nothing short of fantastic to me. The work lights, the Icon, I've got several of them because I've gotten great deals. They seem to be okay so far. There's a few things I changed. The slim lights, it's the same thing, and then they take an eternity to charge. As they get worse and worse, the charge time increases too, which is super frustrating. But yeah, right here, as I kind of pry this back, you got your USB-C to recharge, and then that right there, you could charge something else. So your little other light goes down, or one of the Brauns goes down, use this sucker to charge her up. So yeah, it's a little bit bigger of a form factor. Again, obviously, if I stack this, you get the idea. Puts out a lot more light. But maybe at some point in time, it's warranted to do a comparison, like a more appropriate comparison between these two. But the main reason I got this is I might need it in tandem for something else that you probably will never guess what it is. But the other thing, 36% off. I don't remember, I think it was a parking lot sale 2, 3, 4 weeks ago or something, and 36% off. Like, this is the type of thing, like, I usually look to get like 20% off and call it good. They set the price. This wasn't a coupon required or anything. It was just boom, 36% off. And I was like, hey. Now, they might be doing that because they know that these melt down after X hours, or heat cycles, or charge cycles on average or something, but I don't know that yet, so I just jumped in blindly and took advantage of the sale price with the hopes that we are impressed. But that's it. That is this Harbor Freight haul right here. Let me know your thoughts. If you've used the Quinn pry bars, how do they hold up? How would you compare them to, say, the Pittsburgh pry bars and maybe Dominators, or, you know, a tool truck equivalent type of a thing? The O-rings, again, your opinions there, much appreciated. Any luck with these Thunderbolt Magnum batteries? The pin light, again, I've covered that in detail. I want to know your thoughts on it. And of course, if you've got the Icon, what are your thoughts versus, say, the Braun? Kind of help people make a decision there. I'll be using this. I kind of wanted to open it a few nights ago, but I didn't want to take the time to open it at that point, so here I am. It did come with pretty much the exact same charge cable, so it is what it is. But yeah, the CutiX wasn't broken. We were able to fix it. That's the main scare factor here. But yeah, any of this stuff that you've got experience or opinions on, by all means, leave a comment down below. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. I'm going to go stand in front of this fan, cool down, and get back under the truck. But you know the drill. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you subscribe, you grab your Icon light that's running on full bright for its 950th charge cycle, and it starts a fire, but you jump your Charger across the creek while ringing the Dixie horn and blinding Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane. YouTube just might notify you that we've got brand new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have yourself a fantastic week. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.